Welcome to Bobby Joe's. Today I'm going to be roasting a whole chicken, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to be roasting it in my Lodge Dutch oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and stick it in the oven and let it preheat. The oven's preheating on 425. And I just go ahead and get that Dutch oven heated up. Okay, so I have a whole chicken here. It is 5.75 pounds. There's my chicken. If you don't want to touch the chicken, you can wear gloves. Raw chicken doesn't really bother me. I just wash my hands good. I know a lot of y'all already know how to do this, but I'm doing this for the people who, I'm going to show you step by step for everybody. People who don't know how to roast your chickens, never dealt with a whole chicken. So when you get the chicken, you want to check the center to see if they've got any liver and kidneys and giblets and whatever else they put down in there. You want to make sure all of it's out. Sometimes they're in a neat little pack like this. Sometimes they're just stuffed down in there. You have to pull them out. Now I save these and I use them in my dog's food. They love these, so I just add them to their food. I cook them and add them to the food. So let me move these to the side for the doggies. Okay, so here's your chicken. Now I rinse mine off. You don't have to according to the FDA, but I do anyway. So I'm going to take it over to the sink and rinse it off. And then I'm also going to put some paper towel over here because I'm going to need it when I get back. There's my rinsed chicken. Now if you do rinse it in the sink, you want to make sure you clean your sink good afterwards. I usually just do vinegar, baking soda. That cleans the drain too while I'm cleaning. You can use bleach. You can use whatever you normally use to disinfect. So I'm just going to use paper towel, dry the skin of the chicken. Now my chicken's completely thawed and I've had it sitting out for about 30 minutes to kind of get it room temperature to where it's not cold straight out of the fridge. You don't have to do that. I just always do because I feel like the butter spreads on it better if it's been sitting out a few minutes. I'm going to take this stick of butter and I'm going to melt it, and then we're going to add some garlic and different things in with it. I also like to add veggies to the bottom of the pot. So usually before I was doing low carb, I would do potatoes. But doing low carb, I'm just going to do some carrots because I can have a small amount of carrots. I'm going to do onion, and I'm going to put lemon on the chicken as well. Now this is for Thanksgiving. I'm showing you how you can do some things for Thanksgiving that are low carb. You can do this with a turkey. Turkey's not going to fit in my small Dutch oven, but Steve doesn't care for turkey, so I always do a whole chicken. And since there's only 2 of us, I'm not going to cook a big turkey. I mean, if I do, I'll end up cooking it plain so I can use some of it in the dog's food. You can also put sweet potatoes underneath the chicken. Cut those in half, wash them, cut them in half, and put those under the chicken. They're really good with the juices from the chicken cooked on the top of them. But we're going to do onion and carrots because I'm out of sweet potatoes because I used them all in the dog's food. So I'm just doing this while I'm waiting for the butter to melt. Now in the butter, I'm going to put some salt, pepper, garlic, rosemary. I don't think I have any thyme, but you can do thyme. I'm going to do lemon juice. But let me get the butter. That's a stick of melted butter. I get my measuring spoons. I typically don't measure with measuring spoons, but I'll do it for y'all just so you know how much I'm using. I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is unsalted butter. The salted butter, I probably wouldn't do any. And you can add whatever seasonings you want to this. I mean, paprika is good. That's 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I have some fresh rosemary that I dried from the garden. I'm going to do a teaspoon. That's a half and a half, so that's a teaspoon. Some ground black pepper. I'm not measuring this because I'm having to grind it. Put as much as you want or as little as you want. Or you don't even have to put it. That's the great thing about baking at home is you make it how you want it. You don't have to go exactly by a recipe. I never cook the same thing twice as far as recipe. It's always different. Okay, I'm going to get my minced garlic, and I'm doing a tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm just going to mix all this in here with the butter, and this is what we're going to rub onto the chicken. Oh, I forgot my lemon. I'm gonna squeeze a half a lemon. I don't have any seeds in there. You can add poultry seasoning, you can add Cajun seasoning, cayenne, if you want to have a little spice to it. You can season it however you want. I'm just going with lemon, garlic, rosemary, a little salt and pepper. You don't even have to put seasonings on it. The chicken will come out tasting good just because of all the chicken broth and things on it. Let me move this out of the way and get my Dutch oven out of the oven. Okay, I'm going to put a little avocado oil in the bottom before I put the veggies in. You do not have to preheat it if you don't want to. Every time I cook with cast iron, I preheat. Now, we're going to throw the veggies down here in the bottom. Be careful because if you preheated it, it's going to be hot. And these veggies are going to be so good with that chicken cooking on top of it, with all those juices flowing down, seasoning the veggies. You can also stuff the chicken with veggies if you prefer. I like to have veggies on the bottom of the Dutch oven so the chicken's not sitting in its juices. so the juices will flow down and the veggies will kind of keep it off the bottom of the pot. That was my oven. It's now preheated. Move this over. We're going to come back to the chicken. I'm going to pat it down a little more. The drier you have the skin, the crispier the skin will get. And like I said, you can stuff the center of the chicken if you want. I don't stuff chickens. That's just my preference. I don't stuff turkeys either. I actually need to flip it over. Okay, I'm just going to pour this on like that. And I'm just going to brush it down. Make sure to get up underneath those wings. This is the back of the chicken. We're going to have the breast side up. Let's get the pot back over. The reason I did the back first is because the back's going to go down. So I can go ahead and place it in my pot with the breast side up. And I'm just going to pour this all over the side of the chicken. And I'll get my brush, go up underneath these legs. So typically you would have some string to tie your chicken legs up like this, but I don't have any twine to tie it. You could also make a slit and stick it in there like that, or you can just leave it like it is. It'll still cook up fine. You don't have to have the string. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. And I'm going to start off on 425 degrees and we're going to stick it in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to roast it for 1 hour and 15 minutes with the lid on, and then we'll come back and we will remove the lid and cook it for 30 more minutes with the lid off to make the skin brown the skin some. Okay, we're going to bake it uncovered for 30 minutes. This smells so good. I wish y'all could smell it because it smells delicious. I'm going to let it sit here for 15 minutes before I do anything with it. Yep, we got a crispy skin. Now see, if I would have tied these up, this would have cooked more underneath. But the veggies are probably going to be really good with that chicken broth on them. And with the chicken broth that's left in the bottom, you can also use that to make rice if you wanted some rice to add with it. Okay, so I go ahead and debone the chicken. And I put the broth on top and the carrots around the edges. Onions are in there too. I leave the drumsticks and the wings on the bones. Everything else has been deboned. That way we can just serve it up with whatever piece we want. And then there's some broth here. If somebody has rice or potatoes, they want to add a little broth too.
Okay, I've taken a bite of chicken. It's juicy, it's good, it's tasty. And I'm looking forward to finishing this drumstick. Overall, I would give it 2 thumbs up and say it's drool worthy.
Thank you for your review.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a very blessed day.